Hello, my name is Dylan Savage of Worth Law Office, and I practice primarily in the Oklahoma City, Oklahoma area. Today we are going to be talking about zoning regulations and required action by political subdivisions in order to get permits in regards to making sure that they don't exceed federal obstruction standards for buildings that would normally obstruct airplanes and other vehicles that fly throughout the sky, aeronautical type stuff. So if you want to find this statute, you can go to Oklahoma statute found in Title 3, Section 102.2. It is entitled Zoning Regulations to Permit Certain Variances. And this statute itself is very short. It's just a brief little blip. It states that airport zoning regulations adopted by any political subdivision pursuant to this act, meaning this statute, as a minimum shall require a permit or variance for the erection, alteration, or modification of any structure which would result in the structure exceeding the federal obstruction standards pursuant to 14 CFR Part 77. And that 14 CFR Part 77 is in fact going to give you the detailed information of what that federal obstruction standard is. More specifically, you can actually go look at 14 CFR Part 77.17, which is entitled quite literally Obstruction Standards. Depending on the situation that you are actually going through, the building or mobile vehicle that is being altered or created, you are going to have different standards of what would actually violate that federal obstruction standard. To give you kind of a viewpoint, I will just read off a brief blip of 77.17 obstruction standards. An existing object, including a mobile object, is and a future object would be an obstruction to air navigation if it is of a greater height than any of the following heights or surfaces: a height of 499 feet, air ground lighting, so above air ground lighting, so pretty much the ground at the site of the object. Secondly, you could also have a height that is 200 feet above air ground lighting or above the established airport elevation, whichever is higher, within 3 nautical miles of the established reference point of an airport, excluding heliports, with its longest runway more than 3,200 feet in actual length, and that height increases in proportion of 100 feet for each additional nautical mile from the airport up to a maximum of 499 feet. And that's just a little bit of this. So obviously it is going to matter just what your circumstances specifically are. So it is important to make sure when you are working for these political subdivisions, whatever you're doing, whatever permit you are requesting, that you know the details and you know what specific case you were falling under for the obstruction standards. If you found this video to be helpful or you believe it could help someone else, please go to theoklahomacityattorney.com. My name is Dylan Savage, and thank you for watching.